We've been talking about boundary lines, which are essential to protect production. And production is essential for a human being's joy. Because when production is set forth in all aspects of their lives, they are enriched spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. And that order was on purpose. Because first, I believe the spirit is in all things. Life is spiritual. This is just a physical world to help us make sense of it. But I do believe it begins in a spiritual facet, spiritually rooted, with faith, a belief in an invisible power. I believe in a one true God. I believe he gave his son for our salvation. But I'm not here to strangle you with my beliefs. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help speak life into your body because I do care about your well-being. And so I do know that you need to have a higher being, a higher power, a higher purpose, calling, and cause that goes beyond what it is you are and you expect. Aside from your suffering, aside from your joys. That is principle number one for me. Being able to submit that there is a power greater than you allows you to flow with the power of the universe. It allows you to go with the Creator's established way and the rules that are respected if they are enacted upon. And so once a person is spiritually grounded and a habitat is formed for them, their emotions are now in check. Because I do believe a sad heart comes from a broken spirit. I believe that there's things deep down that are necessary for a person and they're not receiving them. And so now it comes through in the emotions and the heart breaks and the person does what they can to soothe themselves. And now this is why the thoughts are making sense of the bad feelings. But when the spirit is strong, when it has been nourished, when it has belief and it is releasing peace with all things that are transitory, it now establishes itself in a sense that it is not invincible, but made whole in love. And when made whole in love, the heart does not break, especially for things that it should not desire for. And when the emotions are intact, the mental frame is absolutely strong, because now there's no sad feelings to make sense of. And being spiritually grounded, being whole in your heart, you really don't seek outside messages that would deter you from the state of being that you're in. And so now you are physically able and you are active and you are strengthening yourself and you're becoming more mobile. And in this part of life, you really begin to win because now you're healthy in all four aspects. And now you will truly win in the financial game. As there are people who are winning, yet are miserable, because their spirit is broken, their heart was hurting, their mind was twisted, and so they got angry, they got focused, and they made a lot of money. Or, as many people do, their broken self, unhealed, they became an actor, became a movie star, and when you get to that level, and you have as greater resources as they do, no one can tell you no. It has to be you. And because you're not healed, why wouldn't you say yes? You're soothing yourself. Hence, had you been soothed before you got to the top, you're not pulled left and right by your great appetites. Your woes don't send you into a frenzy of indulgence, which I think is important for not going off the edge, which is why a lot of people who are doing well financially, no one wants to be them because they didn't do it the right way. And the universe does not just reward those people. They just know how to crank and grind to a sense that brings them what they want. But there are many of you who are right spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and maybe that's just not how you direct your life. But for those of you who wish to live a very full financial life, there is an incredible amount of crank that goes into getting to that level. And I don't believe that you're understanding how deep it is to get there, because it's not just about working hard. It's about truly being intelligent about how you're going to run your finances. And I'm not one to be doing a financial talk, so I'm just giving you a real life expression about how difficult it is. You have to have a brilliant idea. You have to have a team around you, people who believe in the idea the way you believe in the idea. Or you have to be one that's able to do all the positions and fire off. And if you look at where you're at and you're happy with your progress and you're really holding yourself to the fire, then you can be happy with where you're at, and you should be. But if you're really being truthful to yourself and you feel something's off, then that means that something needs to be improved and that something's not being done to the liking of the expectation. Because we have expectations, but our objectives have their own expectations of what needs to be done, or there is no progressing. So we want to establish ourselves as healthy spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, while becoming financially well, while becoming financially strong. The better you are in all these areas, I do believe that you'll be able to truly conquer, but it needs to be protected, that production. How can you have your spiritual time? How can you meditate if people are always around you, if you're always listening to music? That requires some changes to be made. The same thing with emotionally, putting yourself in certain places, being around certain people, certain stimuli, movies, TV shows. Social media is a massive one. We need to do a better job of creating a boundary and a structure for the protection of what our spirit, our physical being needs. You need your own safe haven, and it needs to be within your own body, within your own mind, within your own heart. And so, again, separating from desire, establishing yourself spiritually, drawing boundary lines for your production, and allowing yourself to flourish. You are meant for a full life. You're meant to do amazing things. And there is a lot of opportunity if you are someone who is able and has a situation that is allowing for it. If you are just surviving for the moment, and I am sending you strength, and I hope that you will continue to survive with the hope that there is something coming. But if you have any type of free movement, it's best to try to maximize it. It's best to try to spark a new way. You are meant for something different if you are not living the life that you want to live. And I believe it simply starts with doing something that you love and integrating it into your life financially. Finding some way to teach the skill, to make a service out of it. But this is a way to make it so that you can keep getting better at what it is that you enjoy doing while profiting and giving yourself a good life. It's not about a certain amount of money to be made. It's about a certain level of freedom and enjoyment and fulfillment that you can get from everyday life that you don't need to escape. So boundary lines and structure, they allow you to flourish. It seems to be harsh at first, but as we've gotten older, we realize our parents, those of us who had parents who loved us and cared for us, those who had aunts or uncles, authority figures who were putting structure around us, we see that they meant well. Even if they came off harsh, they were trying to do what was best for us. So now there's another chance to draw boundary lines and to protect your production, to allow yourself to be able to do the things that you love and to do them well. Structure is necessary. It looks different for many of us. The way that the water comes down through the skies is not how the tree will grow, but there is a process. There is an order. There is a structure to the way things are done. And the greater you respect the process and the more that you pour into it, while being well, this is the key here, to be well. Money has no object in one's life if you have no health, if you have no family, if you have no time. But if you were a billionaire by tomorrow morning, but you had 1 hour to live, or you were a billionaire, but now you have no family and no friends, you have to live with nobody that you truly care about. Or you are a billionaire, but you have excruciating health, and it's not terminal. You're just in pain and you're in agony. This doesn't feel to be an abundant life, because money is not what frees you. It is the expression of your living that frees you, and money becomes a byproduct of how well you live and how well you've integrated that into your life. Your skills, with your joy, with a purpose, it can create a magic for your life, and that's just not a lie. There's many people who are living it, and they've been able to put enough of it together to do so because they establish boundary lines. They tell people no. They remove themselves from situations. They do not allow themselves to be taken in too much when they're in a season of building or growing. It is not selfish to be able to look within yourself and to realize what it is you need, and to take time for yourself when you're really doing something that is substantial, something that is going to be a catalyst for new life in your family. And so these things deserve to be respected. People need to allow people to have their time. We need to learn about who we are. Some of us need to be around people. That's who we are. But there are some of us who need more isolation. We need more time to ourselves, to let our thoughts run through themselves and to process them. And this is through structure and boundaries. You can be more free-flowing when you have your daily objectives in your mind. For myself, it would be praying, it would be reading, it would be recording, and it would be training. These things need to happen. And when they do, everything seems to be well. So draw the boundary lines, create the structure. It's the most beneficial thing for you. Spirituality comes first. You need a spiritual foundation. This will help heal your heart. This will help keep your mind clear, and this will allow you to be strong physically. And then now the rewards financially are unmet because you can enjoy a good life, a pleasant life, and you can pour out to those around you. Remember, money is not the win. It is the great expression of how you live that liberates you, and money is the byproduct of that win. The win is having your own time. It's controlling your life. It's getting to share moments with those you love, and it's getting to create from your heart, with your mind, with your will. Whether you believe or not, I believe for you that there is a Father God above, a heavenly creator. He's put a purpose within you. He's put something in you that needs to come out, and this is why you're unhappy. This is why you may be antsy. I've found what my purpose is. I'm desiring to do it. I'm doing it every day, and I'm still antsy. It's a fire that burns, and for some of us, the fire is gone. Maybe we've turned it off and we've decided that we don't care. But for you that are antsy, for you who want more, for you who are angry, or maybe really despairful, there's a life that you're not living that calls for you, and I wish for you to answer it. I wish for you to create the boundary and the structure that will allow you to start living the life that is meant for you. May you be blessed. Strength and honor.